Hello, tiny house people from everywhere. And thanks, John and Finn, for giving me the opportunity to show off my tiny house. So my name is Macy Miller. I have a website called MiniMotives.com. I built a tiny house a little bit over a decade ago. I moved in on this day 9 years ago. So I want to show you my house. I do want you to keep in mind there's a family that lives in this tiny house. It is not picture perfect, nor has it ever been picture perfect, let's be honest. This is a tiny house that I designed myself, and I built for a little under $12,000. I guess let's just start with where we're at. I'm sitting in my chair in the living room. This is our media wall, if you will. It's got a tiny little wimpy TV on there and a cat bed above it. And then this is where the two grown-ups keep their clothing. We don't have very much. We like it that way, but we each have a couple drawers there. This is for winter coats and dress storage, I guess. And then we've got some blankets and some craft storage over there on the left. And then we have our heater. That's our main source of heat in the wintertime when our solar's not enough to run our Pioneer mini split. We've got a great big dog named Denver. He's a good boy. Huh? Denver dog. He's over these things. He's an old boy. He moved in a couple weeks after we moved in. And this tiny house is all that he's known. He's 9-year-old Great Dane. I actually built those steps up to the sleeping area for him so he could get up there. But he's getting a little too old for that business. So we just rearranged the downstairs so his bed can fit down there. This is the grown-up sleeping loft. I'll be honest, that bed doesn't get made. It's a pain in the butt, so we just don't even do it. That's where we keep our laundry as well. In these steps, it's just, I don't know, board games and stuff in there. Nothing crazy for the kids. And looking back this way, obviously, we have our kitchen down here. This is our pantry where a lot of our food storage is. Dog food and trash cans under there. I've got to cover this up somehow. I just haven't really cared a whole lot about doing that. But that's storage for kind of taller items. Right now we keep our whiteboard back there for when we do homeschooling with our kids. We also have some storage up top here. That's where I keep a lot of our holiday, Christmas, Halloween decorations and stuff. And this is our kitchen. Pretty basic, but functional. I like it. Up top this year, I built a area where we could start our seeds. So that's a structure for some grow lights and some, you can see one dome left over. We got all of our seedlings in the ground, fortunately, so it's not being used right now. The shelves where we keep all of our cups and dishes. You can see we're pretty minimal. We have one for each person. Basic stove. This stove is older than I am. I pulled it out of an RV. It works beautifully, but it doesn't look beautiful anymore. Pots and pans storage, washer dryer unit, sink stuff, kitchen things. And then on the side, we've got our little refrigerator with the microwave up above and a bunch of storage of things. We do live off-grid now. We used to live in Boise, Idaho, but we moved 300 miles north to Moscow, Idaho, and we're completely off-grid. So we collect all of our own water, which this is similar to a Berkey filter. It's called the water machine, and it's a totally glass version of what I guess a Berkey filter is. It uses exactly the same filtration system. I wanted to see it, to see if there was algae growing. You can't really see the water inside of it. I would not hesitate to go with a Berkey anymore. And in fact, this one tends to grow algae because it's glass instead of opaque, but still works well. We just wash it out every once in a while. So here's that. Oh, that's our mini split. We've got our AC on right now, but everything's all good and looks like a 10-year-old house, right? This is the bathroom. We've got an oversized shower. That was pretty important to me, to be able to be comfortable in the shower and take endless hot water showers, which works out great. I am one of the few who decided to put a sink in the bathroom. I don't know that it's necessary or not. Heads up, that's me. This is just a basic mirror I found online. Stuck some hinges on, so it's a medicine type cabinet. And then everybody's got their own towels. And we go down our composting toilet. I wanted one that looked sort of like a normal toilet. This is a Centrix 2000 electric model. We've used it for 9 years. It's great. It has, this is just a seat, and then the majority of the unit sits outside underneath the tiny house. So whenever there's cleaning to do, it happens from outside. And then through this door, this used to be my back patio. And you walk out here, and there was a papasan chair right there. And then I had babies. So I enclosed it, and I gave them a room. So this is Hazel's bed. Hazel's 7 years old. She's the first and the oldest of our child. We just painted some fairy villages and dinosaurs and stuff for her in there. And then my son, who is 5.5, if you ask him, Miles, we painted some pirate ships and treasure maps and camping and Pikachu stuff in there. And this is, I don't know, they're pretty happy with it. They don't seem to complain too much. They each have, super dirty, toy drawers underneath. They each get one drawer, and that's how many toys they get to keep. And then this stack of boxes is their clothing. They each have 3 boxes for their clothing. I mentioned that we homeschool, so this is their homeschooling cabinet where all their curriculum goes, shoes underneath, pictures and windows and stuff. And then this was a back door, which I wanted on their room because I didn't want them to be on the other side of the kitchen from me. And now, in this scenario, it's been working as our front door, which is a little bit awkward, but it doesn't really matter too much. And this is our property that we bought down here. Well, up here, I guess. It's 6 acres in North Idaho. We have all the way down to that pond, just the other side. Those willows are on our parcel. Our orchard is down here. And then we're building this road currently that goes up and around, and up top there, right there, we'll eventually build a passive house of some sort. So let me take you outside now, and let's see, we'll just go ahead and go out this front door. It's the heat of the day, so I've got all the windows closed. But eventually our plan is to build a nice covered patio here that kind of mirrors. It'll be 9 foot wide, and it'll mirror kind of the shape of our tiny house and be covered and have shade and be kind of an outdoor. We get a lot of snow up here, so it'll be an outdoor area where the kids can play even in wintertime. With lumber prices how they are, that's not happening right now. So I moved our garden boxes out front here. And then we took down a fence that was on the property, and we used the lumber to build just this little stoop so that we could use our front door again. And this summer's project that we're just about to kick off, this whole area, we're gonna flatten out and turn into a nice entranceway to a back patio there. So I'll put a big trellis in here. That's the catio, where the cat climbs her ladder and goes up in the middle of the night because she likes to. But this is where our garden was last year. And then we found out this is a nice shaded area in the summertime. So we're going to turn it all into a back patio. We're even thinking about maybe putting in a door right there so we can just come out on this side potentially. But yeah, we have a lot of work to do back here. It's a mess. Last summer's project was this rammed earth wall, which is just a bunch of, dirt essentially from your property mixed with some Portland cement and stacked into these forms. That has turned out to be a pretty cool little retaining wall. It's about 4 feet high. And we added a sandbox for the kiddos, which they couldn't really care less about. Let me go in here. So when I designed my tiny house, I lived in Boise, Idaho. But I always thought maybe when I'm done living in it, I'll move it off the grid and it could be like a family cabin. Turns out part of that was true. We moved it off the grid. So I had designed in this cabinet in the front for solar components. And we've done that. We've worked it out. So we've got 12 100 amp hour batteries, and this is our solar charger and everything in there, main electrical line. And it works out beautifully. Like, for someone not knowing what solar was needed, it's almost like custom built for it. And then this is also the little storage cabinet where we keep our backup generator, because we do get winter storms that come through and we don't have solar for days and days. These are our solar panels. We have 10 250 watt panels that we can move with the seasons. And let me take you out this way. So this room back here, and you might wonder what's that for. Oh, by the way, also that little door right there, that's how you get to maintain the composting toilet. It's outside there. But this we built because for year-round living and off-grid living, we need to store water in some way that it won't freeze so we can use it. So we ended up building this shed for our water use. And let me show you what it looks like in there. It is, since we're building it anyways, I thought let's use this for our food storage as well as our office space. So you come in, we've got our little deep freezer. And then I've got a couple buckets there for some extra toiletries, or I like having backup stuff if we don't get into town for a month or two, we're fine. Obviously we have a lot of food storage over here as well. And my seed storage happens down there, as well as flour and rice and whatnot. And then I have my little workstation here with my Mac set up, and we've got a window out to the beautiful patio that we don't really use a whole bunch. But the main idea of this is this water storage. So we have 1, 2, 3 IBC storage totes for our water. Each one of those holds just under 300 gallons of water, so we're pretty close to 900 gallons of water in here. And then this also happens to be James's work area too. It's heated in here, similar way as next door. And then he runs his online business in here too, which looks much fancier online, but really all the magic happens right here. So that is our water storage for winter months. And you may wonder where we collect that water from and how. And 2 winters ago, I designed that barn down there. And I designed it so that it had a great big roof, so that all the water that hits that roof is collected down here into a little black tote, which we can then tote around. We have some extra backup totes in there, in the barn, or we can just pull it directly up here. We've got a little trailer for toting water around. Eventually we might do a well, we'll have to see. But this is our view. It's pretty beautiful. We love being here. We have 2 neighbors. These ones are our friends Emily and Sean, and up the hill is Hog and Cece. But it's pretty grand living tiny here. Let me walk you up the hill real quick just to show you our future plans. So when we bought this parcel, it was completely vacant. We bought a tractor and we've been building these roads and everything. Part of our condition of legally living is a septic tank, and this big hole right here is where we're starting to do that. We just broke our tractor, so we've got to fix it before we move on. But this will eventually be the road up to our next small house. It probably won't be tiny. We have one that's right under 800 square feet that we've been working on designing. And then this is where our eventual ground-bound house will be. And this will be the view. And you can see in relation to where our tiny house currently is, where we'll be living. So from this angle, our idea that we'd like to pursue is to build out a covered deck that kind of comes out at this shape and kind of makes this, I don't know, stereotypical home shape, but that is just outdoor living space for us, for now, we have our furniture just kind of stacked out front because the views are too good to pass up altogether. And it's kind of funny, like these steps are not intentional. We found these steps on our property, so we were able to use them, and we just haven't built new ones yet. And there's Denver. Denver Dooku Dog. And we are back home. I hope you've enjoyed our tiny house tour. I apologize. Videographer is not my job. It's not what I do. So hopefully at least you've got some ideas or anything. I'm always happy to talk to people who are interested in living tiny. I am open to any questions. I will talk to you about parenting, pets, pooping, whatever. They don't even have to start with P, but they could. And the best place to reach me is a group that I help run, which is called Tiny House People on Facebook. But you're always welcome to reach out to me on my website or however is convenient to you. I enjoy talking to people and helping them along this path. For us, it's made all the difference in the world to a happy life. We've been able to go debt-free. We've been able to transition our careers. We were able to purchase this property outright with cash with the money we saved by living tiny. We're able to stay home and raise our kids. We're able to homeschool our kids. All things I never thought I'd be able to do, so I never let my mind wander that way. But it's been a really rewarding experience to get to do that stuff. And I hope that more people can benefit from tiny living. I think it's just a fantastic lifestyle. I don't see us changing much at all.